What is up, guys? This is the OG Hoenn Champ here, and today I am bringing you uh, the battle of the Phoenix Sunkerns versus Coach AZ and the Houston Honchkrows. Now, you guys, I actually did release a team builder a couple of days ago for it, so go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, a lot of the battles I'm going to be doing now is post live commentary, so like not during the battle. But afterwards. And also, I'm really sorry if my audio gets screwed up during this. My microphone has been working really strangely, and I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah, so let's get right into the battle then. And I've actually given nicknames to all of these Pokemon. We have my Scolipede, which is nicknamed Grand's Nightmare, and I'll explain that a little later. Celesteela is nicknamed Lady Liberty. Donphan is nicknamed The Dawn. I called Vaporeon Vape Nation. Kieran Black, I called him Divide by Zero. And Mega Venusaur, I called him Roadhog. So we see that AZ actually brought a team very similar to what I was predicting. Mega Scizor, Landorus, Slowbro, Druddigon, Magneton, and Mimikyu. The only Pokemon I didn't really expect to see was actually Landorus. I didn't think it matched up that well against my team, especially with Kieran Black running around, but he ended up bringing it. So let's get right into the battle now. So I actually led off with Roadhog, my Mega Venusaur, and he leads off with Blowsrow, the Slowbro. So this is not the best start for him. So I just went ahead and Mega Evolved and used Sleep Powder as he switches into Scizor, which is pretty great for me because now I have a sleeping Scizor in front of me. So I'm really free to do whatever I want. I can't touch it with Mega Venusaur though, so I go into Donphan, and I decide that he Mega Evolves as well, but doesn't matter now because he's still asleep. So I decide to go for Stealth Rocks first because I figure he might switch out, but he doesn't. He actually stays in. So this turn I now go for the Fire Fang. Hoping to, get some damage off on it, but he actually goes for the U-turn. And that's a little bit annoying because now he's going to know I have Fire Fang. And he actually switches into the Slowbro, and as luck would have it, Fire Fang ends up missing. So that's fantastic. So now he knows I have Fire Fang, which isn't the biggest deal. He still doesn't know I have Ice Shard. Which is my main advantage against the Landorus. But here I just switch into Vaporeon, predicting a Water-type move, which would be obvious against something like Donphan. So now here I'm thinking he might have Toxic, but at this point it's more worthwhile for me to get Toxic up. And, I mean, Vaporeon is kind of useful in this matchup, but, I mean, if I could trade it one for one with the Slowbro, I will. So he actually ends up getting a Calm Mind off. And here I probably should have gone for Wish, but I didn't really want him setting up anymore, so I ended up just going for Roar instead. So the Slowbro is actually going to get the Regenerator boost health back, and I'm going to Roar in the Scizor. Now here, again, I probably should have just gone for the Wish, but I wanted the burn on this thing, so I went for Scald right away. He goes for Knockoff, takes off my leftovers, and I do not get the burn. So we have a problem now. He goes for U-turn. I'm at 20% health. Almost any attack's going to take me out. I almost thought he would switch into the Magneton here, but he actually goes into the Slowbro instead as I go for Wish. And the Slowbro is actually just going to be able to take me out with the Psyshock. So that was a bit annoying. So now I have a couple of options here. I could go into Scolipede, I could go into Kyurem, or I could go into Venusaur. Pretty much anything except the Donphan, to be honest. I decided to go into Venusaur just because it does so well against the Slowbro. But I'm actually starting to think he put some special defense investment into this because it took that really well. Yeah. So this battle is already off to not a great start with Vaporeon down, Mega Venusaur at half health now. But here I actually I wasn't sure what he was going to do, so I went for the safe synthesis. Ended up getting all my health back. Now I switch into Celesteela here, hoping to get a flame charge off and start maybe thinking about sweeping. I can't really sweep with the Landorus around, but I go for the flame charge anyway, and he does not expect the flame charge. I don't know what he expects, to be honest, but he switches into the Magneton. And I get the flame charge off. I have a speed boost now. I don't think it's Eviolite at this point because it did way too much damage for that to be Eviolite set. So he goes into the Druddigon, and I actually go for the Earthquake here. And I get a nice crit, which does about 40%. I decided to just stay in and go for Earthquake again, because he can't do much to me. He ends up going for the Dragon Tail, actually, phasing me out. So I end up getting switched into Kyurem, which is pretty great. Divide by 0, for you guys who don't know, is undefined. So I thought that was kind of funny. His power is undefined. So I ended up just going for Ice Beam because I didn't want to go for the Draco Meteor if the Mimikyu came in. That Mimikyu is a bit of a problem, and you'll see why. I ended up just keep going for Ice Beam, but he does have Slack Off, so there was really no point in me doing that. I just kind of wasted a couple turns. I go for Ice Beam again, just trying to get some more damage off, and I think he goes for the Scald. Yes. He ends up going for the Scald. Gets the burn, which is annoying, but it's not the biggest of deals. As you guys know, this is a special attacker. So here I actually switch because I know he's just going to go for the Slack Off. So that's annoying. And here we're just going to have some Slowbro Venusaur shenanigans. So I'm actually going to explain a little bit more about this battle. So there were actually two coaches in this league that worked together to build against me. It was AZ and Granville, both of who are fantastic battlers, and both of whom I'm really scared to go up against all the time. So they actually combined their efforts to come and prep for me. By the way, I predicted a switch on that Sleep Powder, but he did not switch. So that was a failed Sleep Powder. And here I just go for the finish with Giga Drain. If he had swapped there and gotten the Regenerator boost, I would have been so mad. But yeah, so far this battle is every bit as intense as it was proving to be. Well, promised to be. So here I actually switch. Oh no, I went for the Synthesis because I figured he was going to go for the U-turn. I was like, hold on, why would I switch if he's going for U-turn? Yeah, but you see Mega Venusaur is just kind of eating up those hits. And we know it's probably going to be a more bulky variant of the Scissor. And I have no idea why he switched into Druddigon here. He could have gone into Landorus and used Psychic or something and probably taken me out. But he just gets Giga Drain to death. And see, the Psychic is actually what I was afraid of here, so I ended up switching into Kyurem, who could take that pretty well. But he goes for the Earth Power instead, which just takes a huge chunk out of my health. So I only have one hit left in me, so I went for the U-turn in case he decided he wanted to stay in and predict something. And I couldn't go for the Draco in case he predicted that and went into Mimikyu. But either way, it didn't really matter because it goes into Scissor, which resists that, but it actually did a great amount of damage, which I'm very happy about. So right now, I'm actually pretty happy because most of his bulkier Pokemon are out of the way, and I still have 2 bulky Pokemon and 2 sweepers. And Venusaur is actually giving me a lot of special presence as well. So here I just went for the Flame Charge again because I was in on the Scissor. Magneton comes in and gets Flame Charged. Don't know why he didn't just switch in Lando. Maybe his Landorus couldn't touch me. Now here, this was a really, really good prep on their part. He brings in Mimikyu, so I'm like, okay, I just go for the Iron Head because I'll outspeed and maybe I'll flinch. I don't outspeed. You go for the Iron Head. His disguise is busted. He has Weakness Policy, Mimikyu. And I don't know what I was thinking here, so don't even ask. I don't know why I went for Flame Charge here. I was like, oh, I'll live this next hit. By my calculations from this attack, another Iron Head would have just killed it. I mean, Flame Charge does 40%. Iron Head is stronger and it's stab, and it's super effective. So Ironhead definitely would have taken it out. I don't know what I was thinking there. I almost threw the game there. But fortunately I had Scolipede here. And I nicknamed Scolipede Grand's Nightmare because the other coach who helped AZ prep Granville, he has one of his favorite Pokemon is Tapu Bulu. And I mean, Scolipede kind of just destroys it. So yeah, I wasn't scared of the Mimikyu because I had Focus Sash, so even if he got a crit, even if he did like 3 times as much damage, I would have lived and killed it with Poison Jab. Now the Lando comes in, and I realize Scolipede's really good for nothing at this point. I mean, I just need Donphan, really. And he goes for Earthquake and takes Earth Power and takes me out. And now I realize the 2 Pokemon I prepped for with Donphan are the only 2 left. These are the only 2 I need. If Donphan was dead and I only had Mega Venusaur, I probably would have lost. So yeah, I actually went straight for the Ice Shard there because I know the Landorus could probably one-shot Donphan. The Scizor cannot. So I'd rather not take a chance on the Landorus. And if I was going to play risky, I'd rather play risky with the Scizor. And so I end up predicting right, and his Landorus goes down. Scizor gets burned, and I'm guessing this thing had U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Roost, and Knockoff. Or maybe instead of Bullet Punch it had Defog or something. But it never revealed it, so I'm thinking it had Bullet Punch instead. So that's actually the end of the battle. And yeah, so we won 2-0 against one of the best battlers in the entire league. So I'm really hyped about that. That was the first week. We're already 1-0, and I am just so excited now. Next week, we're actually going to be going up, I believe, against the Kentucky Tentacruels and Coach Jake Just. So keep an eye out for that, for the team builder there. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.